what what tickles me. And right now, what tickles me is weddings. Ladies and gentlemen, brides and grooms, couples of all ages, welcome to engagement. So you've heard it before. I've said it time and time again, and I'll say it again. And anyone that knows me knows that's a phrase I use often. I'll say it again. People say all the time, "Hey, Doug, you're a wedding officiant." And actually, I'm a wedding celebrant. And you have a channel called Engagement. Is it just for those that are engaged? And I say, heck no, except for when we do a series wrapped around brides and grooms, couples in love, people getting married. And that's what we're doing right now. This is my third year of doing this engagement for our master series for weddings. This is our sixth episode where I brought you some really incredible people to talk to. And today is no exception to that. Today, I have someone that is so incredible to talk to that I have carved out time just for her. Usually I bring in a couple of pros, but this lady here, she's a doozy. Her name is Lisa Lester, and she is the power behind the To Suit Your Fancy, an incredible decor company, and the Four Diamonds events. And this woman is a powerhouse, and I just wanted her to come on and have a talk. I've known her a long time. She is phenomenal. I know you're going to love her as much as I do. Let's get Lisa on. Hey, girl, how are you?
Hey, that's quite an intro. You're making me blush, Doug.
Well, it's true. It's true. I've known you a long time. And
Yes,
you work nonstop. You're a lot like me. It's just work, work, work. But it's not just the fact that you work a lot, it's the caliber and quality of the work that you put out. You are, I remember going to a funeral of a really good friend of mine, and her name was Luann. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. And I
McFadden.
and I'm waiting in line in Dresden, and I noticed all of the crates and the barrels and the photos, and I went, I wonder if Luann, before she died, engaged Lisa Lester to decorate the funeral home. And you did.
I remember doing that. It was so special.
Yes, it
Uh,
was.
I always think about why I'm doing what I'm doing and the joy that's going to come from it. So I think that's why I just am continuously inspired, because the people I work with inspire me, and I just want to set the stage so they can have the best time ever, whether it's celebrating a life or celebrating a wedding or coming to a fancy gala or corporate party. What can I say? I love what I do.
That's my line, by the way. I love what I do.
That is your
Well, you do some great work, and I want to tell the people if they don't know, because you also garner people from outside of our area that want to come here. And whoever thought, I remember the very first wedding that I was the backup officiant, and it was a wedding from London, and they used Chatham as a destination for weddings. And we think destination weddings, we think like Aruba or Bahamas or Mexico, right? Never like Chatham, Ontario, right? They came here, and you're getting more of that. So people are watching from all over.
Well, and you know what's great about Chatham? It's kind of a midpoint between Windsor, Detroit area, and London and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finding a lot of couples, even couples towards Sarnia, they love Chatham because it's kind of the midpoint for all of their guests.
Yeah.
And not only that, but we have that amazing boutique hotel 1 block away from the Chatham Armoury, Retro Suites, and people absolutely love doing mini destination weddings here because their guests stay in that hotel, and it's phenomenal.
It is gorgeous, and I have more than once, because I'm at the Armories a lot doing weddings. I have more than once wandered to the edge of the curb and watched down the sidewalk towards the Armory as wedding couples have walked in. Brides have had that leisurely stroll to the Armories to get married, and it's just very cool. I mean, it's unlike no other. So
Yeah, it's amazing. that is the nice thing about being partnered with the Chill Cork and having Retro Suites one block away. It's the perfect partnership. It's worked out so amazing. When we have inquiries, even like if it's a wedding that's, not 120 people, I refer them to the Retro Suites and vice versa. And they get clients with too many guests attending their weddings. And not only that, but they can have their rehearsal dinner there. They can book their hotel rooms, and it's literally one block away. So even the guests, like if they've had too much to drink, they just move back to the hotel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the way to do it. Now, I want to show, this is the Armoury. Beautiful spot. Historic old building. This is the outside. The inside you make look gorgeous. You make it look incredible. And you do a great job every time. So the Armoury's itself is brick and mortar, but you take the inside of that beast and you make it look phenomenal.
Yeah, the first time I came to the Armouries when it was decorated, it was actually decorated by another decorator. It was a Christmas wedding, and I will never forget the feeling. I walked in and I was speechless, and I remember saying to myself, I want to decorate this place. And at the time, it was an exclusive decorator. So, you know what? I just worked my tail off and just kept, manifesting what I wanted. And eventually it came true.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've done well. And you don't do this alone. I've got this picture here I want to show everyone. You and your man.
Yeah.
He is out there. He is behind the scenes. He is schlepping and fixing and cleaning, and the man does it all too. Like you married, right, girl?
Actually, has spent the last few days creating or building new portable bars that we're going to be using this year.
Nice.
They're beautiful. He has a countertop company, so there's going to be stone counters. And yeah, you know what? We had such a busy year last year, and Joe manages the bar. He does an amazing job. He does all the buying for the Armouries too. So we're quite a team. And you know what's crazy? We realized last year how well we work together, because we're both just like go, go, go.
Mm-hmm.
And we almost didn't even have to talk. It's just the other person knew what to do to fill in the gap. And it was incredible. And it's really strengthened our marriage, actually.
Not everyone can work together. And it's phenomenal when you can work together and you know what has to happen without, direction. And it just makes it so much easier. I want to show the inside of this beautiful beast, we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to show this one specifically because it really does. It's where I operate for the most part, and it's right down front. These beautiful wooden Armoury doors that have been there forever, and you decorate this area from very simple like this with 2 flanking trees and some beautiful candles to gorgeous, well lit. Tons of mini lights, to name it, hoops and arbors and flowers and whatever you want, whatever you can find on Pinterest that you like, you show it to Lisa and you say, I want it there. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get exactly or better what you want.
I try my best, Doug, and we do use Pinterest a lot. The thing is, there's so many amazing things out there. Sometimes it's the price point that will get people, because you see all these amazing things on TikTok and Instagram, but you have no idea what they cost.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to think that I am very good at coming up with versions that aren't as expensive. So my husband actually says that I can just take, a pile of junk and turn it into something beautiful. And I pride myself on that, because there are so many decorators out there that just spend, and up goes your bill. And I am one of the decorators, that just always thinks about doing it more efficiently and for a better price. And that's why I don't always use all fresh flowers. I'll do high quality artificial flowers with fresh greenery, and people think everything's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
One year I took my grandfather's corrugated aluminum from his horse barn that we had torn down, and I created a beautiful backdrop, and it was actually for TJ Brody's wedding.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it was so, you know what? It's challenging. It's stressful. You know, when you see it all sitting there and you've got to make it look good, but I just do what I got to do to make it
Exactly.
shine. Yeah.
Exactly. You do. I mean, primarily your decor is now because you're at the Four Diamonds all the time. You concentrate there, but you still do some outreach and you do other places you've always decorated for. This one here is a wedding that you did that I also did, and it was for Jocelyn and Eric. That was a great wedding. It was a very memorable wedding for me.
It was windy that day, wasn't it?
It was windy and slippery.
Yeah.
Only for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shucks.
But this is an important thing to have. It
Mhm.
welcomes people. It affirms that they're in the right place. You know, in larger cities, you go into, multiple banquet halls and you're not sure, which room to go to. You need to have that demarcation so they know that this is the right spot. And there's this one as well, which
Yeah.
very important to have your list of where you're going to sit. And people have done this in many, many different creative ways. There's a great example of your high quality artificial and your
Yes.
fresh greens. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So I always feel like signage is so important. It just finishes everything off. And, I'm all detail, detail, detail. And I have been working with Mandy at All Kinds of Copies.
Mhm.
Between her printing and skills for laying things out on paper, and then I have all the supplies and racks and things to display it on, and then I finish it off with decor. We make a great team as well. So yeah, I'm really grateful for her. And she actually, we have our Spring Arts Festival coming up, and we have something really cool we're doing together for that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. It's great when you can collaborate and use the best of both talents. So
I've known Mandy a long time too, probably as long as I've known you, Doug.
nice. Wow, that's a long time. So this here, backdrops are very important. I mean, that's where the dinner is happening. That's one shot. I have this one here is one of my favorites. This is huge.
Last November. That was the Zimmer wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. Lovely wedding.
So I have those beautiful flower trees, Doug, and they were doing this deep red with the black. So I actually ordered those new florals just for that wedding, and they turned out amazing.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. That is incredible. Besides decor, you also do part of the service you offer is planning. You are an event planner as well. And there's a lot of event planners running around, but they're not all created equal. Your attention to details, and I don't know if I told this story before. I may have in one of our other episodes, but I remember very vividly doing a wedding at the Armouries, and you were did the decor, you did the planning, you did everything, and there was a bus that had gotten stuck in the mud, and you were busy getting tea for the bride because she had a sore throat. You had allowed her to have, you were happy to allow her to have the aroma she wanted in the room.
The diffusers.
Yes.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And the bus being stuck was not a problem. It was like all in a day.
You know what?
That's a good planner.
I also have 5 children, so I've learned to not sweat the small stuff, man.
That helps a lot.
If I sweat all those things, actually, I don't think I'd still be in the wedding industry if I didn't learn a long time ago how to shrug those types of things off. I what is the word I'm looking for? I expect things to go wrong now because they're going to go wrong. Like that's
inevitably, yes.
I am an amazing problem solver. What can I say? I don't like I'm bragging a bit, but I have done it for so long, Doug, that it's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't phase you, right, if
Mhm.
you don't get all jiggy over it, you can figure out the solution without getting all bent out of shape, right?
Got to channel that energy into
Yes.
something positive.
Yes.
And I've never been one to waste my energy. I'm always about, conserving my energy and using it for good. And same goes for problem solving. There's no point in wasting energy, having a fit,
Yeah,
and stressing about it. Let's get right to the solution.
that's exactly right. Some of the other great decor that you do, I want to show this as well because it's phenomenal. This is gorgeous.
Yeah,
That's
a
gorgeous.
tablescape along the front of the head table is so important. Some people like lots of, stuff there, and some people want it really simple.
Mhm.
I find this year things are getting to be more clean lines, straight lines. A lot
Mhm.
of people want their head table just straight across this year. So yeah, things are always changing.
Well, and they will forever and ever, right?
And you know
Uh,
what? That's what keeps me excited too. I
right?
love the change. Yeah.
Exactly. Having, dealing with someone that can understand what you want and that you vibe well with or connect well with, and when you say I want something very linear, very simple, or I want, you know, just whites and greens. I mean, that there's to be heard by couples is very important. Not everyone listens, so you
Yep.
listen to what they want and you deliver every time. So,
If it's a Chatham Armoury couple, the first thing we do is we sit down, we go over possible layouts. I kind of feel them out, like what they're kind of leaning towards. I'll help them make decisions if they're having a tough time. We go through the schedule of the day. We go through what they want to see at their bar, whether they want wine on their tables for dinner. We might even do a little tasting of wine while they're at the Armories.
mhm.
And another big thing that I really encourage couples to do is either a champagne wall or a signature drink table or something for half their guest list. So when you tell everybody to go to the other end of the hall for cocktail hour, half of the guests can just grab one and the other half go to the bar. And then that way we don't have a huge congested mess at the bar. So,
And so, 2 points there. One, working with an officiant that can direct people is
mhm.
so important because some officiants, we're not all created equal. I mean, that's just the way it is. Some of us thrive on this. And to make sure that, you talk to your couple and say, okay, where do you want them to go? Does the room need to be flipped? Do they go behind the curtain area so that Lisa and the team can redress the room? That is important. And having that direction so they know come back for supper for 5 o'clock, or the bride will be back in here at 6 o'clock. Those kind of things are important.
Definitely.
Secondly, I mean, you had me at champagne wall, uh, and I have one here of your champagne wall.
Mm.
This one here is great.
We haven't put the champagne in the glasses
Nope,
yet, but
nope.
all
But I
those
have another
glasses
one.
just got polished and put on the shelf.
Well, they look stunning. They look
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yes.
But I saw another one that was just, but maybe it was gone, but it was just bubbly, and it
Oh,
was beer
bubble,
and beer and bubbly.
bubbles and buds.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I love that. I
So
love
yeah,
that.
that's like a customized wood shelf that I had made and it's painted white. And we can change the signage at the top, which is really cool. And yeah, that other shelf that you showed, I often will use that also for a happily ever after wall.
Mhm.
And at the Fantu's wedding last year, we took all their different generations, all their wedding photos, and
Yep,
we displayed it on that wall. And that was a really cool touch too.
nice.
Some people will do this in place of a memory table or a memory area because it's more about celebrating life and the
Mhm.
different, I guess all the generations of love that have come before you.
Yeah, and I know that, like, for the services, at least the services I provide, I asked the couple, do you want a memorial done? And some have maybe even suffered a loss recently that's
Mhm.
impacting the entire family, but they don't want it. They want just the celebrate the love that's in front of them. And some don't want that because it's going to bring the mood down a little bit.
And it might
And
affect different people different ways.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I try to, if I do it, I try to put it near the front of the service, right off the hop, so that we can get that over and get to the love and the laughter that comes along with it. And yes, you can have laughter at your wedding.
Mhm.
They're not. I don't think I've had any that don't have laughter the weddings because usually I'm in front. So, um, speaking of that area, this is also a wonderful way to have a loungy area.
Mm-hmm. Do a little
Eh,
candle wall.
right? And I love this as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of become an iconic little photo op at the
Mhm.
Armories now, because even at all our like markets and Christmas shows, and people love to get their picture there, which is cool. Um, yeah, I just purchased. You see those silver shelves that you
These
showed
ones
in
here,
the wall? Yeah,
they're
I
there, and then they're
yeah,
also right here.
nice. Yeah, they're the same shelves, but I just purchased gold ones.
Oh,
So,
nice. Gold is back.
mhm.
Hmm. It is.
Yeah.
But you do a great job of having that, and it becomes, impactful. The couple, when they come and meet me, this is where it's really important, at least for me,
Mhm.
because it's a wedding. It's not a theme party. That's not getting married. This here is a beautiful backdrop.
Love it.
I love that you followed those willows and the wicker. Um, Cute couple, Madison and John. They were so much fun. Uh, Great bohemian sort of style
Mhm.
wedding, and you did a phenomenal job on the looks of that.
Well, too, Madison was so awesome to work with, her and her mom. We had quite a few meetings, and they had a lot of things they wanted to incorporate that they had done themselves. So, like
Hmm.
a lot of those jugs they had painted and put little words on them. So, I am totally up for that too, because I know it gives a lot of brides and grooms and moms satisfaction to know that they contributed somehow.
Yep.
So they literally just brought everything to me the night before, and I incorporated everything for them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love to incorporate stuff they do as well.
And they're a cute couple. This is them again
Hmm.
and having fun.
I'm pretty sure I forget the story. Do you remember the story of how they met? It was at work. They were working
They
somewhere.
worked for Staples, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it was Madison's parents that actually met the same way. They were both working at Beaver Lumber
Hmm.
or something
Yep.
like that. I
Yep.
remember them telling me, which was
Yep.
pretty cool.
I wrote it in their love story when I wrote their ceremony
Nice.
because that's fun for me. Here's them at again, beautiful setting, beautiful tablescape, fantastic.
Trish did that altar centerpiece from Decor
Nice,
Pansy. Yeah.
nice.
So often we'll incorporate florals like that, like for the ceremony, and then they get moved to the head table. And
Mhm.
I love being there. Like, before I had the Armoury, I would just go do my thing and leave, and I would never be there for the actual event. So I love being able to be there for the night. I go around and I fix stuff and I light candles that have went out, and I just make sure everything's perfect.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
It's you're stealth at it. I mean, just you
I'm the decor ninja.
you you are you are a decor ninja.
Yeah,
Now, so this is
there you
sort
are.
of the fill. This is again more twinkle lights. Another couple that was Vanessa and Greg.
Mhm.
And the couples that come in and get married at the armories, it's always a phenomenal feel because everything is dealt with. And to attest, I won't say the couple. um I usually can see Lisa when I'm doing the service because Lisa actually sits there and listens to what I've written because she has done all of her work and she's able to rest for a few minutes, which is the only time that she rests, by the way.
I love like when the ceremony's actually happening. It's one of my favorite times of the day because I have no choice. Like I have to have everything done by then. So
uh,
I can actually, like you said, sit and listen and just enjoy the moment.
yeah. Yeah, and it's good because then you get a flavor for what officiants will work with other couples too, which is very important.
Yeah,
But
you always do a great job, Doug.
thank you. I always have fun doing them. Um, we had a wedding though that had, and this happens from time to time. And cool hand Luke here, Lisa, handled everything so well. We had a bridesmaid go down.
Oh, right. Poor girl.
I know. But it
Oh,
happens. It happens.
oh,
You've had, maybe 6 or 7 mimosas and one strawberry all day, and your
yeah.
body needs a little more food than that.
the bridesmaid that went down too, like I had decorated her wedding a few months before that wedding.
Oh wow.
And I actually really knew her well too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
it was the team jumped in and calls were made and she was fine and water was gotten and we went on and finished the deed. And but again, nothing really phases you. So you just, as a planner and as a designer and as a host, it's always great. So
just keep moving forward.
that's all you can do. Forward is the only direction.
Exactly.
Now you do other things too. And I've got this one shot I want to show because you do more than just weddings there. I've been to a celebration of life there for a friend of mine, for a couple of friends of mine actually.
I just quoted another one actually. So I'm actually going to put a package together for Celebration of Life because Jean Rosini's Celebration of Life, it like I was crying actually.
I know.
You know, so it just for me, it makes my my work meaningful when, you know, and we did Tara Vitek's funeral at the Armouries too. That was a while ago. Tara Vitek was an amazing woman. I had actually decorated her wedding and I decorated her 40th birthday party. And then she ended up passing away of cancer, unfortunately. And I decorated her funeral. Yeah, just an amazing woman. But you know, when you're doing stuff like that, like to honor someone's life, you better be meticulous. You better be doing your best work possible because, you know, why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. And you typically, if you know them, you capture the flair. You also do incredible galas of all sizes. Now I remember putting on the very first gala that was in the Armories when it first opened. The very, very first one. They were still
opened as a wedding venue.
Before it was a wedding venue. It was I did the large scale gala there, and I mean the day of 500 people at a gala is slowly creeping back. But you've done 500 people. You've done half of that. You've done very small ones, galas of all sizes. But when you do up the place, and it's full and it's gorgeous and lots of tables and proper linen and it's gorgeous, right? When
That's the hospice gala.
Yeah, it's phenomenal when you see that. And as an event planner, whether you're planning a wedding or a gala, it's still an event. Just take the word wedding out. It's still an event.
Oh yeah.
You need to have a proper place to have this. You need to have a person behind the scene that can help you execute this. You cannot do this alone. You can't have your Aunt Doris and your friend Susan bring all your decoration in and then light all the candles and cue the food. And
you can do that, but there's certain places for that. Like if you want to do your own, that's your prerogative. We pride ourselves at the Armoury for making your day worry-free. So, we want you to focus on all the things that are more important on that day, like your speech and your connection and all those little moments. We don't want you stressing out about things that we should be handling. So, yeah, if you're coming to the Armouries, expect to be pampered, expect to have the best. And you know what? I'm sure, I have never looked into it, but I'm sure we are on the expensive side in Chatham. But in my mind, we fill a certain niche. And for those people who want full service and not have to worry about decorating or doing their own anything, the Chatham Armoury is the place to come.
Absolutely. I agree completely. And you wouldn't want to be the cheapest place in town either. Trust me, not for the quality you guys give.
Yeah, we've worked many years to get to this level because you can't just do it overnight either.
No, exactly. You're coming there you're getting sage advice and people that know what's going on. Now,
and the thing with the galas too, Doug, I was going to say, their main focus, let's say for the hospice gala or the Children's Treatment Center gala that we have coming up, is fundraising and their silent auction and their live auction and all that. So having us on board, they don't have to worry about the decor, the hall, making sure everything's clean, the bathrooms are stocked. They don't have to worry about any of that. They can just focus on the most important thing for that gala is the fundraising and making sure
Absolutely.
everything is just smooth in that regard.
Exactly. Because that's the fundraising portion is a big portion of it. So
Mhm.
um, now you people should realize that you need to book in advance.
Mhm.
Don't call Lisa, a month before and say I forgot to book a venue. What do you got available? Because they're likely not going to have your dates line up. You also are garnering business from out of town. You're getting people from all over that are coming
Mhm.
here for weddings, and
Yeah, we're
that
so excited.
it's
We
very cool.
actually, I was telling you earlier, Doug, we had our first couple from Detroit come check out the venue last week, and they are really keen on booking. So we haven't actually figured out how they're going to book yet, because they're probably going to have to get like a Canadian bank account. But yeah, we're excited because we're really drawn in the people from out of town, which brings business to Chatham. And people come stay at the retro suites and they're going to be so impressed. They're going to want to come back. So yeah, Chatham is amazing.
It
And all
sure
these
is.
people are going to find that out when they come here for a wedding.
Exactly. But the downside of this is that there's only one Armories. So get your date in early.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fortunate. I can do multiple weddings in a day. I come in, I do them, make them special, make them unique, leave, go off to the next. You only have one Saturday a week.
Yeah, and the
So,
thing is too, like we're not like a lot of other halls where we try to pack our schedule full. We're very selective about what we take. And we usually like to book one event a week. Now, sometimes when we have the galas, they'll be through the week, so we'll have a couple. But most of the time, we like to just book the Saturdays for weddings. I have done the odd Sunday wedding, but we don't really promote that. So yeah, 2024 is actually getting pretty full. So if
mhm,
you are interested in getting pricing or anything at all, I would say reach out to me at fourdiamondevents@gmail.com ASAP.
exactly. The great thing about working with Lisa as a qualified planner, a great wedding planner, great event planner, and a great person, great decorator, great minds, is that you have some great tips for people. So let's come back and let's do a wedding tip if you've got one. So hang on. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell everyone that this show and our tips are sponsored by With This Ring Wedding Officiant, this guy. And we want to make sure that your day is special. So having those tips and having that advice around you is really important. All of these tips are going to be compiled into a downloadable guide that will be ready for you when we have our big, massive sort of town hall. We're having a big bring your questions, talk to all the pros, not just one or two, but talk to all the pros in different areas and get some advice and find out who works well for you. So, Lisa, I bet you've got a few tips, but I'll take any one you got.
One of my number one tips when you're looking for a venue is to ask for a mock invoice. There should be, every hall should be very transparent about their pricing and their gratuities and their
Mhm.
taxes. And I've heard so many stories about how they didn't know about all these hidden fees and these hidden costs. And at the Chatham Armoury, I like to be super transparent. I actually make up a mock invoice so they can see the breakdown of everything right from day one. It's
That's a great idea.
it's most important.
That's
Yeah.
great because people forget about gratuities,
Hmm.
right? Or they forget about if there's a security deposit or there's a cleanup fee or there's if you're having your stuff left there for more than one night or the bar. I mean, it's an event. Things are going to cost you. So at least be forewarned and be aware of it so you can budget for it. And that budgeting is an important part of your wedding as well.
Definitely. And we usually estimate if you're going to have an open bar or even a toonie bar, on average, people drink approximately 5 drinks at your wedding. That's what we have found over the last few years. So if you're doing your budget, you're trying to figure out your bar bill, Yeah, we calculate that all for you because to us it makes the journey more enjoyable because then they're not like dreading this big bill at the end. They know what to expect. And I actually have one couple right now. I think they're from Strathroy. I can't remember. But he is a super numbers guy. He told me. So I have been giving him all the numbers he wants, all the little numbers his heart desires, and he is super happy about that too. So
Yes, number guys and accountants and engineers, they all want to know everything. They want to see it all on paper.
that's my husband too.
um, so to sort of spring off of that,
Yeah.
I think a really important tip is to talk to a wedding planner like Lisa, who is very close with their catering arm of their business, because you have no idea if you're having, you know, hors d'oeuvres passed around, how many hors d'oeuvres per person or how many drinks per person or on average, because you've never done this before. You don't know that you need to have, you know, so much shrimp or so much, you know, piggies in a blanket or whatever your taste might be, right? So talk to your pros
That's
and
right.
get that
And
advice.
you know what, too? Do your research, hire the people that know what they're doing, and just trust them. Because, you know, when it comes to, you know, how many bartenders we think we should have at the armories to, you know, best serve your guests, we are the best people to figure that out.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've had a few couples that like try to tell us how many bartenders they want. And, you know, we just kind of nicely tell them that, you know, you need to trust us. We know what we're doing. We know how to, you know, make sure your guests stay happy. And that's ultimately the biggest goal of the married couple and their parents is they want their guests to just have the best time ever.
Absolutely. Because everyone talks about the wedding long
Mhm.
after the Sunday after it. So,
Exactly.
and nothing I hate worse than waiting in a long line at a bar. So,
Mhm.
I'm excited to see the new bars you've created that are going to
Mhm.
be, you know, dazzling, I'm sure, because your husband is a very talented
Mhm.
gentleman. And
We also are getting an ATM at the Chatham Armory.
an
Yeah.
ATM.
Yeah. So if people need cash, it's right there.
No one cares cashing other than me. So,
It'll be nice for the galas and the markets and cash bars.
yeah,
Up until now, there is actually an ATM at the Legion across the street, but now it's just going to be more convenient for people.
nice,
Mhm.
nice, good. Well, Lisa, it's always great talking to you. You have some great advice. You have a beautiful spot. You make it look extra special all the time. Hang on while I say goodbye to these folks and encourage them to come back for more. So
Thanks, Doug. You are awesome.
thanks, Lisa. I must say, when I show up at Four Diamonds, and I know you've decorated, I know the team that's on, the DJ that's on, it's really very much the A team. And
Yeah.
me, I don't get overly anxious anyhow, but it just it becomes fun, more fun than it
Mhm.
already is. So walking in there and
Stress free.
yeah, Lisa's telling me to, you know, go get my mic on and you know, go here and go there, and everyone's always calm, cool, and collected and ready to get married. So you do a great job, Lisa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. So there you have it. Wow, episode 6. A great talk with Lisa. If you're looking to get a wedding booked there, I would do it right away and look at her planning services, the food services, and all the great things they do there. So until next time, thank you for coming to Engagement.